Alright, hi everybody. Welcome to Sometimes I Music. I'm your host, Adam Briscoe. Welcome to episode number 5. Things are going to be possibly a little different today. I'm going to switch things up. I just felt like chatting a little bit. Was curious about a few things. Had a few questions on my mind. A couple things pondering, etc., etc. First, before that, please follow and like wherever you're watching this, and feel free to follow along and be a part of this little community that I'm starting here. I've wanted to do a podcast for a long time, so I'm happy to finally be doing it, let alone be on episode numero 5. But I hope you guys are doing well. Anyways, right to it. Today, first and foremost, it is April 21st, which is the day that Prince passed away. So, peace and love and R.I.P. to Prince, the purple one, the kid, I haven't been a Prince fan for a long time. I kind of got really up and into his music in the last year or so, but and maybe some of you can relate to this, but if you have ADHD, I find that that's the reason why I can only hyper focus on certain bands. So that's why I know a lot about Michael Jackson. I know a lot about the Beatles, because once I'm really into something, I have to go down a rabbit hole. Sometimes I get little bits and pieces of things. I don't know every detail and nook and cranny about Prince, but I know a few odd stories in that. Paul Simon, that's another one. It's on my second tier level. Not in a bad way, it's just I haven't gone down that rabbit hole or had the time to really get my brain in the zone to go down that rabbit hole. But I respect them all the same. So R.I.P. to Prince. And next up, I was thinking about music. Obviously, because sometimes, hey, I'm music. It's the name of the show. Good one, Adam. Nailed it! I just wanted to talk about, songs nowadays and albums nowadays. Do you guys think that nostalgia plays a big key in a lot of today's music? Because there's a lot of plays on reusing kind of similar aspects to music as in the past, which has always been a thing. So I don't think that's the deal. I just feel like there isn't a lot of mainstream stuff that's going down the change path that at least I'm not noticing. Nothing's making a tidal wave. We're not having another Beatlemania or anything to me that's kind of as progressive as that. I think the only thing that could have been kind of close to that in the same aspect was when One Direction was a thing. And now look at Harry Styles and in a sense of fashion and music and stuff like that, then they're definitely kind of in that same realm. And then I was kind of thinking in terms of albums, are we gonna have something that's a big number one album like Michael Jackson's Thriller, where so many of the songs off it were singles and so many of those singles were number one hits? Do we have anyone like that now that's on that level where it's gonna be noteworthy? And what made that such a thing at the time? I know that I heard someone mention it was kind of a very multi-genred album, but yeah, yes and no. It's got a lot of funk disco stuff going on there, a lot of stuff that was similar to Off the Wall. And then you got long songs like Thriller that have these Vincent Price outros. You got Beat It with Van Halen. So I guess it was, you got Paul McCartney on The Girl Is Mine. So it's kind of doing what the feature did then, like it does now, but back then, is you taking these big things, elements of the music that would be circled around Van Halen, taking music that would circle around Paul McCartney. You're kind of getting all these fan bases wrapped around into one place. So maybe that was a big selling point on that. I heard they mixed the album like 90 something times and ended up taking the second take. And here's another thing with stuff like that is the remasters, because I remember when they did the 25th anniversary remaster of the album, and then I saw they did the 40th anniversary. Like, it was perfect the first time. Don't keep remastering it, because I don't see someone coming in and being like, okay, we can make this even better by a few little points. And it's perfect just the way it is. Just leave it be. Let it rest. It's a good album. Let it be a good album the way it is forever. You know? Same with Beatles albums too. Like, I appreciate the fact that a lot of the time it's George Martin's son, Giles, that's doing a lot of the remastering, like the remixing of their albums, but, you know, at a certain point, just leave them, you know? We can't... Eventually we're going to keep remastering to the point where it's just a dull set tone. Or maybe AI will do it. Because, like, AI is doing everything now. So... But yeah, I don't know. I just had a couple of thoughts today. I thought I'd come on here and just, you know, kind of just shoot the shit about it. And see what you guys thought. What do you guys think about, like, music today and what's going on and artists and the music scene and wherever you're from. Like, I live in Vancouver in British Columbia up in Canada, and I know a lot of people in the music scene, and there's a lot of people that really thrive in this music scene, but I also find, and I'm sorry if this, you know, upsets anyone in the music scene locally, but there's just a very common sound that I find in Vancouver. And I feel if you put on a playlist of Vancouver artists, you pick one genre, that genre is going to sound very similar across the board. Because I feel there's a lot of either home studio people or the same studio kind of people, and they all have that... It's hard to explain. I feel just listen to a playlist, and it's not a bad thing. They're great. It's great music. I've just gotten kind of... And I'm not saying I'm any better in any aspect, but I'm just saying, you know, I don't really listen to a lot of the local... There used to be the Peak Radio, and they used to play a lot of, you know, the A-list, B-list bands of Vancouver, and I just couldn't listen to it anymore because it's very... It's similar, and I check in every now and then hoping there's something kind of new, maybe to ruffle things up, and it's not really, you know. It's a lot of retakes on the same idea, I find, and I don't know, I just want something that makes me go, oh, yes, music, you know, that same aha feeling you get when you listen to an album like Thriller, or you listen to your first Beatles album, or whichever band you're super into, you know, your first Prince, your first Paul Simon, something of that caliber, because it's out there, man. I've seen people live, and it's out there. It's just not going down the right tunnels. Like, eventually, hopefully it'll get there, and hopefully they'll all get there, and it'll be a big wave, but as of right now, it's just kind of, eh. And that's, you know, it is what it is, and we can't change that. All we can do is, you know, keep hoping that we'll all get lucky at some point here with the music, and something will come out of it. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and actually just chat for a bit. And yeah, so let me know what you guys think. What's your idea? What's your music scene like? How do you feel about music today? And let me know either in the comments of this on YouTube, or, you know, send me a message somewhere on Instagram or TikTok. You can find me on Instagram at @abriscoemusic, TikTok also at @abriscoemusic, and all the links for everything will be in the description below, so just click the Linktree link for my stuff. And until the next episode, guys, this has been Sometimes I Music, and I'm your host, Adam Briscoe. All of you have a lovely, lovely day, night, or afternoon, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.